21.
Yep, Mr Chippie.
Yeah, knock it to 30, 30.
How's that?
That's fine because it was interference on 31. So Mr Chippie is off to test the K-PO Panther, which is what we were doing the kind of non-servicing on yesterday. And so I've set up the calibrated Rotel 230 to talk to him. He's also taken the body cam with him and he's recording his end. So there'll be two videos. There'll be this version, which is me talking to him, and there'll be his version, his point of view.
Right, I've forgotten the parcel. Do you want to bring it out?
Roger. And that was the Shogun all parcelled up going back to the customer. So we try and always use the Rotel 230 for these, so it's always the same. We do have a calibrated Midland 48XL as well. I nearly had to press that into service because I couldn't remember where I put this Rotel. So he's going to go to the normal points, and instead of talking us on the car CB radio, he's going to be using the K-PO Panther. So I better make sure the squelch is set.
Tango 21 from Mr Chippie, receiving.
Tango 21 receiving loud and clear.
Roger that, this is from the top of the hill before I go down to Wilsford, yeah.
Roger, got you at the top of the hill before you go down to Wilsford. Roger.
Roger, I'll move on to the next spot.
10-4. Yeah, I thought he'd start there, so he started about a mile and a quarter, mile and a half away. Because we knew it worked for a mile because he'd been for a walk round the village, which is about a mile away. Remember, he's using this on its rubber duck that it comes factory supplied with, and he's using it on its own battery, which we've made sure is fully charged. So there's no external things. It's not plugged into the car. It's not plugged into a posh aerial. It is on its own rubber duck. Tango 21 receiving over.
Roger, did you get them off the installed?
Negative, no.
Right, I've got to move away from the car a bit, so back towards the traffic there.
I didn't quite receive what you're saying. Just go again, please.
I've had to move away from the car and move towards Scratchy Corner.
Okay, so you're at Scratchy Corner. Roger.
Yeah, roger that. I'll do the next one.
10-4, that should be about the worst one. Okay, so I mean that's Scratchy Corner. So he's now the wrong side of that hill, and he's right in the shadow of the hill, which is why we call it Scratchy Corner, because it is. And I think for him to work on a handheld with a rubber duck is very good. So it looks like he's had a couple of attempts to find a spot where he could contact me, but nevertheless he's got through from Scratchy Corner. Tango 21 receiving loud and clear.
Roger that, I'm just in the lay by just before the level crossing, over.
Roger, I've got you very well from there. Excellent.
Okay, I'll see you next spot.
Roger. Yeah, that's so he's now not in the shadow of the hill, but he's in a cutting between rocks on one side. So and that side is between here and there. So that makes it difficult, which is why we choose this route. Tango 21, Mr Chippie, I think that's you calling. Go ahead over. 21, nothing received. Tango 21, Mr Chippie, not receiving. Tango 21, receiving, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on the car one, clear that that's not going to happen.
Okay, move on to the next point then.
Roger that.
Okay, so the next one, which is the Kelby turn, no. Just broke that squelch. We knew there's somebody there, but no. Tango 21, Mr Chippie, is that you calling? Over. Tango 21, Mr Chippie, go ahead. Tango 21, Mr Chippie, nothing received. Roger, you back in the car?
Yeah, I'm just about receiving you, but you're clearly not getting my transmission.
No problem at all, move on to the next point.
Roger that.
Tango 21, Mr Chippie, I think that's you at your next point. Just try again, over. Tango 21, nothing received. Tango 21, you back in the car?
Yeah, I'm at Rob's level crossing. I heard you transmitting a bit clearly. I'm not getting back to you at all.
Okay, that's fine. So no problem at all, and yeah, so it worked to the Wilsford level crossing, and that's. I thought it would work there. I didn't think it would work at Scratchy Corner, but it did.
Yeah, roger that. So I mean that's the test done anyway now. So I'll catch you back at yours.
Okay, when you did the last test, you were using a radio with a 1.5 metre telescopic aerial, which you will with the Duet when you do that, hopefully tomorrow. So, yeah, there we go. So, if you pop that parcel in, and I'll see you back at Tango Towers. 21 out. Okay, so we went down all the points, and he started 1.5 miles away at the quarry at the top of the hill. And then he dropped down into Scratchy Corner as the village of Wilsford starts, and by picking his spot he was able to get through, which surprised me. So although that's only 2 miles, 2.5 miles, it is the wrong side of a hill at the bottom of that hill. Then he went out to the level crossing where he was able to pull over in a lay-by, and that is about 3 miles away. And we heard him loud and clear from there. When he got to the 4 mile point, it just broke the squelch. The 5 mile point just broke the squelch. 6 mile point, as you heard just there, it just broke the squelch. I knew he was there. So that's on a shortened rubber duck aerial, and to be quite honest, I think for that to get the 3 miles From here, this is just a single-story building with a end-fed 18-foot aerial at gutter level. You know, there's no tall mast here. This is done specially so that we're not being elitist, and the aerial cable is the ordinary thin stuff but good quality. So you know, we know this will work for 35 miles in the right direction on a 4-watt setup. So I think really, considering that's on its rubber duck aerial, on its own battery, I think that 3 miles in reality was quite a good test. So he'll have the footage from his body camera. That'll be a separate video because they're in different formats to this one. I can't really mix them together. So there you are. So it didn't do the 6 miles, it did half of it. Thank you for watching.